It's a beautiful day, a beautiful Monday, the first in the month of August. Welcome to the Polity. The Polity today will be talking about food security with a rider. Are Nigerians hungry? Yes, that's what we hear every now and then on radio, on the social media, even on TV. The politicians have turned it into a sing-song. We are hungry. Even former ministers, governors, and those that have been in politics since the beginning of the Fourth Republic and have played major role in the political field are still saying we are hungry. And Nigerians wonder who are the hungry. But we know very well that women and children, especially in the northeast, where the guns are still booming as a result of insurgency, are most affected. In fact, figures put it at 31.8% of the population that are under food insecurity. Now, when you talk about food security, you do not mean only the absence of food. Food can be available, it may not be accessible. Food can be available, it may not be in the right quantity. In fact, what you need to eat at times is not what you are eating, as a result of probably lack of knowledge and so many other things. But insecurity, insurgency, and probably government policies here and there do affect the amount of food and the availability of food and the cost of food in Nigeria today. Now, that's where we are going on the Polity this afternoon on Kaftan TV. I am Segun Ojelade. Welcome to the program. I'm being joined in the studio by two gentlemen. I have on my immediate right, architect, is also an Alhaji, Kabir Ibrahim, is the national president of the All Farmers Association. Architect, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me, Sheku.
On my far right is a public affairs commentator, a very well-known face with us here, and indeed on major television and radio stations, Mr. Jidoju. I welcome you to the program.
My pleasure, sir.
Now, that's how it is going to be on the program today, three of us, as we talk about whether Nigerians are hungry, and if we are, yes, I say we are, what are the causes, and what will you recommend out there as the solution? Because there is an opportunity. The phone lines will soon be open so that you too can contribute to the program. Once again, welcome to the Polity. Now, let me start with you. You are the only farmer around here, and we're talking about food. Oh, I forgot. I also have a farm because I'm doing sack bag farming. I have two bags. One I planted yam into the two of them, and they are doing very well. So that qualifies me as a farmer too.
Of course, you are.
But on this program, you are the farmer.
Thank you.
Yes. When we talk about food security, what exactly do we mean from the point of view of a farmer?
Well, the question of food security is multi-pronged. It's not just merely food. It has to be affordable. It has to be nutritiously balanced. So for you to have food security, you must have food and take it at the time you want, in the right quantity that you want, and that you can afford it easily without bothering so much about it. And it will have the most important nutritious ingredients in it. So that is food security. And we don't have food security in Nigeria. We are struggling to have food sufficiency before we even get to food security. There are very few nations on earth.
So there is a difference between sufficient food and having secure food.
Yes. What it means is this. As you are here, Shegun, do you worry about buying bread tomorrow for breakfast? Can your children now play football with bread on the dining table? When I was working like you many years ago, my children used to play with bread and they would eat the inner part, softer part, and leave the dry part and all that. Now there is no household that can afford that. So that is a far cry from food security. In so many houses, I know young children have this penchant for taking Indomie after having a meal.
Yes.
Whatever they eat, they still go for Indomie. Some of them will go for a fried egg. Some of them like chips and all that. If you can have all those things outside the normal food or plate of food that you are now food sufficient. But for you to have food security, it means that you do not worry out of your wage to take money out to buy food. This is what happens in the United States, for instance. When you go along the New Jersey Turnpike up to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, you can buy takeaway Raw Rogers. You buy food with $2. You can eat anywhere. Nobody cares about looking for food. You don't have people begging for food. Yes, you have speakers for corners, people who drink, who abuse drugs and all that, asking for money and all that. But essentially, the majority of the people have food because there is food security in that country. You control. You don't have a price control, but you have consumer protection. Consumer protection in many senses, in quality, in quantity, in price. So this has to happen in a polity for there to be food security.
Okay,
that's it.
Now, do you want to contribute to that?
Essentially, I think architect has spoken glowingly and from a practical point of view. So I don't think I should belabor that because there is a wide gamut of issues surrounding issue around food that I think we should discuss.
Okay. Now, why is it difficult? Why is it difficult? Let me put it this way: for Nigeria, with the abundance of land, we have arable land, we have a very clement climate, and we have the human resources. Why have we not been able to feed ourselves?
Because of wrong-guided government policies. Mr. Jalade, you were possibly born in the 50s. I know you are a grandpa.
Yes.
The bottom line is that you were born before the oil boom. I was born post-oil boom. I was born in the 60s, late 60s. But we still felt the... You know, in this country, we said at some point our problem wasn't money, but how to spend it.
I know the person that said that.
And he's still alive.
He's still alive.
I will never deny that he said that. So, when we discovered petrol in Oloibiri in 1956, did we invest that petrodollars in the agri sector? Did we infuse technology in the practice of agriculture? Did we make agric business? We still have 90% smallholding farmers.
Yes.
My great grandpa, my great grandma, and my grannies, aged, just had 2 acres of land which they till for a family of 15, 20.
Yes.
So little is left for sale. But had it been that we had the focus and the vision to use the petrodollars to develop, expand, and incentivize the agriculture sector to attract young Nigerians, we possibly will not find ourselves in this situation. But with so money, much more than we can ever imagine, we were paying salaries of other countries,
Yes.
civil service, I think in Equatorial Guinea or somewhere in Gabon, somewhere. We were paying. After paying, and we went on Jamboree.
We were doing Father Christmas.
We were doing Mother and Father Christmas.
Yes.
We decided to do Festac in 1977. We embarked on needless projects.
Yes.
We were building skyscrapers.
Yes.
We were building roads at very inflated prices. Yes. People became sudden millionaires. People like you and people like Alhaji profited from Udoji Award in 1975.
Oh, okay.
When people got salary increase than they ever would thought was possible. So Alhaji married more wives. You decided to have some side chick and what? So I'm trying to humanize our woes. I'm trying to humanize it so that I don't go into statistics, how many billion we could have done, how many trillion we lost. It was a lost paradise, sir. Because I didn't think that we had the focus and the vision to infuse technology. We had the likes of IITA, IAR&T. We have so many research institutes, but we don't even use their research outputs.
Yes.
Today, America that we are talking about, I've been to America. If you go to their supermarket, they will tell you this is GMO, this is organic.
Yes.
Make a choice on which kind of food you want to buy. And they protect their farmers. They subsidize their farmers.
Okay. Let me stop you there. You know why? You are not a farmer. We have a farmer in the house. Alhaji, please tell us what is happening on the farm as we speak today.
Many things are happening, some of them not pleasant at all. The smallholder farmer cannot afford inputs to help him or her scale their productivity or production.
The old variety or the new variety?
A variety of what?
Seed.
No. Seed is seed. Whether you call it old or new or whatever, no. But I will clarify some of these issues. Dr. Jide mentioned the labeling of food so that you have a choice.
Yes.
This is what it is all about. If you want to eat GMO or GM food, you have to know that it's GM food, and you don't eat it with your eyes closed. You eat it because you want to. Same thing if it's organic, or if it is formed or produced through inorganic means, fine, you have a choice. But you can only choose when you have food security.
Yes.
When you can afford, when your currency can buy.
Yes.
Now, there are many factors affecting productivity now. And because I want to answer what is happening on the farm.
On the farm, yes.
In the food basket of Nigeria, in terms of the most staple food in Nigeria, which I want to hazard, or I want to say it's maize. Maize, we need almost 20 million metric tons of it as a nation, because there is no distinction between what animals eat and what human beings eat. So on a global level in Nigeria, the production of maize is inhibited now because inorganic fertilizers, 20-10-10, 27-13-13, 15-15-15, none of them is less than 48,000.
In terms of price.
In terms of price. And then when we go to the market, even here in Abuja, but there are no farms in Abuja, people bring this, even here where they bring, where the so-called middlemen bring, the price of corn is hardly 35,000 per bag. So if you even sell, if a smallholder farmer sells one bag of his corn that he cultivated the previous season to buy fertilizer to be able to use now, one bag will not buy him one bag of fertilizer. Therefore, completely, he is impoverished. He cannot do that this year. So as time goes on, and you aggregate these instances, there will be less food for Nigeria towards December and beginning of the year. So what you people are complaining about now will even be worse as time goes on. This is what is happening on the farm. This is reality, not fairy tale. The typical farmer will actually is a businessman by commission, because we have been harping on this. Do agriculture as a business, otherwise you will remain poor. What they call subsistence farming is actually another word for poor. You just produce what to eat, and then you do, it's not what you want, but you just want to fill your belly. That's all. Because no one single farmer will produce everything that he or she really requires. You need to sell what you have in surplus to buy what you need from some other farmer or some other market. So this is the truth. This is what happens. Now, whether this is going to augur well for Nigeria is clearly no. That as this trend continues, we will be in worse trouble. 3, there is another issue that is very paramount now, and that is insecurity. In spite of all these challenges, the farmer also cannot readily go to their farm, because even where they go with their one eye open, one eye closed doing the work, because they are afraid of being taken away for ransom or nailed or even killed. Another factor also that is very, very important is climate change.
Yes.
We have floodings and we have drought. I'm sure you know that even in the Jos area where the rains are normally high, there was a time last month when in Jos area it took about 3 weeks for the rains to come. And even here in Abuja, you have seen that the rains have just, the real onset is towards the end of last month. And then this month, this is August. I mean, maybe you have what they call the dry spells, August dry breaks in the southeast and all that. But here, this is the most rainy month of the year. The rains are falling, but they are causing havoc where they are falling in excess because of flooding. So we have a myriad of problems debilitating against productivity.
Okay.
And this does not portend good life for people, because you are talking of food security.
Okay.
Food security will be difficult.
No, maybe because I said what is happening on the farms. We did not touch what is happening in the pond or in the poultry, where you have when you say poultry,
yes, the issue of maize that I raised,
yes,
is fundamental, because you see, when in poultry production, the energy component of the feed is mainly grains, and in Nigeria we largely use maize. And at some point before now, feed was very, very difficult to buy. So the poultry industry even became moribund. You remember that in about 6 months ago, the Poultry Association did a summit, and I chaired it. When I was president of Poultry Association, even Obasanjo was my member. We used to get grains from the grains reserve and give to users. Anytime the government opened its grains reserve, it made allocations to users and to even farmers alike.
Yes.
Some people sold off their papers in Area 11, but the poultry farmers bought the grains because they wanted to use it there. That time, the guaranteed minimum price was working. Government would buy off whatever was surplus with the farmers, giving them the best prices so that they would be able to go back the following
next year.
From 2015 to date, we have not had large consignments in the grains reserve.
Wow.
So the poultry industry is almost moribund. Where you come from, the southwest,
yes, sir,
there is a proliferation of poultry, and I'm in touch with them. They are my people. Everybody is crying. Now, when it comes to fish, I also do fish. Even right now, I have.
Wow.
What happens is that the feed also is very costly. The average, or what you call good feed for the fish, cretin, the larger ones are like 28,000 per bag, 25 kg bag. The cheapest you can get is probably 24,000. Now, if you sell your 1 kg of fish at 5,000, people like you will say they have no money. They will not buy it.
And he has
that fish is not necessarily good.
And he has
so, and this is Jide for you.
Yes.
What about people who are below the stratum of where Jide is? So there are difficulties in all aspects of life, in all aspects of food.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Jide, you have told us when the problem started. Now, with all that we have been saying on this table, who do you blame for this, for our present stage of food insecurity? Who failed to do what he's supposed to do, or who just did beyond what he's supposed to do, if you can say that?
Okay, so it's good that you brought, I will call him architect. Alaji is just
yes.
And I'm very proud of him that he left the business of design to feed the nation.
He's doing a good job.
And he's doing a good job of it. He's into fishery, into poultry, he's into grains and all of that. Now, who dropped the ball? Our leaders. You can't blame anyone else. In fact, if I will add to what architect has said, post-harvest losses.
Wow.
Have you talked about that? 40% in some instances.
Yes.
The roads to the farm are impassable. Transportation on top of, he's talking about feed, not about transportation.
Yes.
Who goes into those forests to bring out the food to the marketplaces?
The bandits are also waiting for them.
They are waiting. And then the middlemen, they will buy in bulk at rock bottom prices for farmers, store it and wait for when it will be scarce, and then bring it out and sell at the cutthroat prices. Then smuggling.
Yeah.
The problems are numerous. Is it you and I that should police our borders? Every government has banned smuggling, but every time you see customs coming to raid in the same market, raid in Chapon and Dubai in Ibadan.
Yes.
When the trailers pass through the borders, killing the local initiatives, and then the bureaucrats also are culpable. The immediate past administration of President Bola Baba Buhari spent over 1 trillion on alcohol borrowers program. Over 1 trillion guaranteed by Central Bank of Nigeria. But who are the beneficiaries?
Non-farmers.
Top. I don't know, maybe Alaji will tell us more. But on paper, the Buhari administration spent over 1 trillion on anchor borrowers program. And of course, you should think Buhari should know. He's a farmer. He has a cattle ranch in Daura. He's into livestock. But was he able to... The issue of conflict, insurgency, you are talking of insurgency. What about the elders farmers clashes? The entire Benue Trough, from here in Abuja, through Nasarawa, down to Benue, down to Plateau, down to Taraba, to Yobe, the activities of elders who graze their cattle on farmlands of smallholder farmers, poor and wretched, helpless, and then you raise issue, they kill you, wipe away families. So the problems are multivarious, And throwing money at it, as we have seen with Anchor Borrowers Program, was not the best. Okay, we have so many research institutes. In fact, the last time I checked, under the Ministry of Agriculture alone, there are over 10, is it 10, 20?
16.
God bless you, sir. There is one in veterinary, involved in Jos. There is IIRT in Ibadan. There is horticultural also in Ibadan. There is Cocoa Research Institute also in Ibadan. There is Kaduna has almost 7 or 8 different agricultural agencies.
And we have universities. And
many universities of agriculture. Just dedicated to, there is a Federal University of Agriculture in Abeokuta.
Yes.
Your home state. There is one in Umudike. There is one in Makodi.
Yes. What
are they doing? Are we able to use the research outputs of these institutions and research institutes? IITA is in Ibadan, 66.
Yes. And they've been doing a lot.
In the USA in Ibadan, IITA,
yes,
from which is International Institute for Tropical Agriculture.
Yes.
But when the research institutes produce their research products, who takes it further?
Yes.
I wrote in my column in the Punch just a couple of months ago when the president, in June, when he brought in over how many thousand tractors from Belarus. And I said, this is a shame of a nation. We will be 65 years of independence in Nigeria. By October, we cannot produce tractors. We cannot produce farm implements. All the implements Alhaji is talking about have to be imported, including pesticides, herbicides, and all of that. Why can't we produce it with all the 16 research institutes, with all the universities?
Yes.
So the issue is that there is no political will. Under the Buhari administration, we have the livestock transformation plan, where billions of naira were invested. There was supposed to be pilots in about 3 or 6 states. What has become of those? Why are we still having killing in Benue, in Plateau, farmers and families being wiped out over issue of conflict over between the elders? Now this government has done what? Established Ministry of Livestock Development. Will it stop? Will it stop the banditry?
Go the way of the other.
Go the way of the other. Let me shock you. 79. Baba Shehu Shagari launched what? Green Revolution. Green Revolution 1979. NPS said we want to be known for food security and housing. Those were their main targets. You know it.
Yes.
But did we have the food there? Remember, Operation Feed the Nation, 1977, before the Green Revolution.
Yes.
77 was by Obasanjo.
Yes.
But Obasanjo walked the talk. He retired to his farm, temperance farm in Ota.
That was the reason why we had operation.
He retired to his farm. Yar'Adua, his second in command, retired to his farm in Katsina. They were both large-scale farmers. But did they catch on? Did we really incentivize? Now there is issue around land to even practice agri.
Yes.
To acquire land now, in Abuja now, you are not an indigenous. How do you access land? How do you get? And then issue of insecurity comes in. So we have all of this issue, but I will still blame the government.
Okay.
Whose policies, programs, investments. We have Bank of Agriculture. They are supposed to lend money to Alhaji and his members at rock bottom, single digit, and we have all these silos that are empty. So what else should we have done beyond proper monitoring and evaluation?
Okay,
that was not done.
I will come back to you. I know you have still have a lot to say, but there are so many issues like both of you agreed we should talk about. I remember Buhari did so many things on rice too. We're still coming to some of the issues that he raised. Rice. In fact, we thought from all the, don't let me call it noise, that was made that time, we thought that the rice pyramid would begin to see it. In fact, in Lagos, even in my Ogun State, we had a rice pyramid, not knowing that it was a fluke. So what happened? So much money was sunk into that project, and in fact, the campaigns on radio and TV, and we thought that we are already there now for us, that America can go to places with their rice, but we are back to importation now. I mean, maybe through the back door.
You see, I like giving a lot of latitude to this issue of food and agriculture. To fixate where we are now and against what happened before, and then to marshal a way out, we do need to really sit down and think very well. The small farmers we see are still the engine room of production in Nigeria. That will not work, because the population of Nigerians now at 230 million thereabout will double in about 25 years. So if we are grappling with food security,
don't forget the age of these smallholder farmers. So is around 55, 65, 70.
Whatever be the case, even if they are 1 year old, in 25 years they will be 25, 26. So the point here is, unless you do something now, you know, a state of emergency in real terms, unless you do that to make food available to Nigerians, it will be exceedingly difficult to do it when the population is double. Yes, there are very many policies, but the implementation of those policies have always been the bane of our agricultural productivity. The Buhari era witnessed the Anko Grower program. The Anko Grower program was not well thought out. When Buhari came, before he came in his campaigns, he said he was going to restore the dignity of agriculture in Nigeria's economy. And we worked with NIGERIANS and IAR in Zaria to see how what he professed could be practicalized. We came with a lot of paperwork from all our chapters and some of the research institutes. We discussed, and then we came with a very large volume of documents. We approached the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria. I was a member, a vice president in the NAFAN and all that. And so from there, we added flesh to what we had, and we did a symposium in Eradua Center. Luckily, at that time, Audu Obe had been appointed the Minister of Agriculture. We presented this and he liked it. He now took it to the ministry, put flesh on it, and APP was born, the Agriculture Promotion Policy. The CBN then, the governor of the CBN was almost finishing his first term. He was looking for a second term. And because he served the PDP government, he needed to do something to catch the interest of the new government. So they brought out Anko Grower. That Anko Grower program was not well thought out. I was lucky to be one of the farmers that escorted the president to Kebbi. The CBN gave me a lift in an aircraft. We went there. The program was launched with 2.6 billion naira for rice and wheat. Somehow wheat was jettisoned because, as we know, it's a political crop. Now a lot of work was done, and before you knew it, several billions were pumped into that, all in an effort to show the government that the CBN could do it. But the actual Anko Grower program, as copied from the United States of America, which we knew was not being implemented. So nobody from AFAN borrowed one dime from it. Wow. We didn't participate. But you know, in AFAN, every farmer has a commodity. Just like you said, I do poultry, I do fishery, I do a bit of agronomy. Everybody in Afan will have a commodity. So in Afan, you can be a member of the poultry association, a member of rice, whatever, but you are also a member of Afan. To that extent, some people from Afan could have got, but they didn't get directly through Afan, because I looked at it and I knew it was not going to work. So I didn't take part in it. Yes, there were abuses of it. The abuse came mainly from what they call the prime uncle. The prime uncle is a big man with a lot of access to people in power at the CBN. Now, he or she would come with a bogus list of farmers and get to the development finance, get to the governor and tell them that they have 1,000 farmers of rice, that they can now bring paddy from what they produce to pay in kind, so that the CBN will now warehouse this for the rainy day. Instead of doing that, they went to the market and started buying paddy. Now, they had a benchmark. At that time, I think it was 11,000 or 17,000, I can't remember. But the paddy in the market was going for like 9,000. Now, because they had this leverage, they could buy from that same market at 11,000 and still make profit. So they created inflation. Food inflation began from the end of 2015 to date. Just look at it. The graph has been going.
In 10 years.
It has been going. We have never had even what they call harvest time price. You know, when they are harvesting a certain commodity, prices will come down. We have not experienced that from that time. And then it's for people like you to analyze and come out with that. Now, this administration, to be very fair to it, it has opened so many windows of opportunity to scale productivity. But there are problems that are systemic, which we have tried to point out here. Insecurity, climate change, low mechanization, lack of incentives, and the dwindling fortunes of the naira. The purchasing power of our naira is very low. So people cannot really play competitively in the market. This is why when the president declared a state of emergency on food and the necessity for importing some materials from abroad came, we did not carry placards to say no, it will take us back. We allowed it because it was a necessary pill that had to be swallowed. So we allowed, and because they said it was going to be for a period of 180 days and in 500,000 metric quanta for 4 items. We allowed that, but the private sector, instead of buying into that, you know, really taking the gauntlet to do the importation, there was lethargy, because they were afraid that if they used their money and brought it in, they would have no buyers, because the leaders of this world are saying they have no money. The naira doesn't have any value anymore. They cannot buy a bag of rice at 100,000 or whatever. So what if you convert rice into something, if you add value to it, the thing will still be costly, because the producer will look at their entry costs and all that. So so that I don't take too much time.
Yes.
What was imported by government effort, because government had to now give a contract for somebody to bring it in. The NSIA has the mandate to send off what has been imported. That was late in coming, because we, the private sector, did not import it. Even though that window has been closed, the material that was imported is here and is being sold only gradually, because people have no purchasing power and the industries cannot perform above average. Therefore, prices have come down because there is too much from that importation. But that one will not be there forever. No country in this world can depend on importations. So that's it.
Yes, I think we are doing well on this program, but we will take a short break now. When we come back, we start receiving your calls. This program is audience participatory, So after this break, please join us with your calls. Okay, you're welcome back. The program Polity continues. We're discussing food security in Nigeria. And we shall be asking from now, are Nigerians truly hungry? I still have my guest in the studio, Alhaji Kabir Ibrahim, who is the National President of Association of Farmers of Nigeria, and Mr. Jide Ojo, a public affairs commentator. I think I will ask Mr. Jide Ojo first. Like we said in the opening, it is now a sing-song. We are hungry, we are hungry, we are hungry. And politicians have turned it into a political, they have weaponized it, as we say in Nigeria. Anytime the opposition wants to talk, say, hunger is killing Nigerians. Are Nigerians hungry, Mr. Jide Ojo?
Yeah, I don't know about other Nigerians, but I'm hungry. And I can only speak for myself.
Former politician.
No. When you are talking of those politically exposed persons,
yes,
they are not hungry for food; they are hungry for power.
Okay.
Hunger can be for, you can hunger for thirst for education, you can hunger for education, you can hunger for sex, you can hunger for power, you can hunger for drugs, you can hunger for so many things. But you see, Alhaji broke it down at the beginning when he talked about food sufficiency and food security. Is Jide Ojo food secure? No. Is it food sufficient? No. Situation where I have to borrow money to feed myself, you cannot say I'm not hungry, because he defined it adequately well. He said when you can afford, affordability is the key word. It's not that I need to buy a mudu of rice, I'm looking for who to borrow me 10,000. It's not like I've been warned against taking pomo, but that is what I can afford and I have to consume as a means of having protein in my food. That's not same as my children being able to afford to give them a loaf of bread when they demand one and not giving them akamu instead. So, you see, poverty is relative, hunger is relative. I am borrowing to survive, but some people don't even have means of borrowing. So my own situation is a bit better. But you cannot say that I have everything. Forget about dressing for the camera, Oga. you know this thing is being recorded 40, 50 years down the line. It can still be repeated.
Yes.
So when they say you don't look like what you are going through, that is my own situation. So what we are saying is that for every Nigerian, and the president recognized the fact that many Nigerians, even so-called middle class, are hungry. That's why the first thing he did was to declare state of emergency on food insecurity. Way back in June of 2023, he said there is hunger, and I recall that my senior brother Dele Alake was the one that was the spokesperson for the president then, and he marshaled a number of things that the presidency has decided to do in order to allow for food sufficiency. The question is, has that promises been fulfilled? Now we have had Ministry of Agriculture bifurcated. We now have Ministry of Agriculture and Poverty and development or whatever. Then you have livestock development carved out of that ministry. Has that brought more food? Can we solve the problem of insecurity so that those who even have ancestral land that can produce 1 acre, 2 acres, 5 acres of cassava, of grains, can return to farm and not live their lives in IDP camps? Because these are part of the problem. Alhaji has said it. What is the percentage of those of them that can do mechanized farming? He said something behind the camera that he has the 1,000 acres of farmland that he has not been there in 6 years because of insecurity. So even when he has the resources, he wants to do it, but insecurity cannot allow him to do it. The height of of inhumanity in Nigeria is when smallholder farmers have to be picked like snakes on their farms or being taxed access fee and harvest fees before they can sell their farms. And then we cry that food is very expensive. How will it not be expensive? When bandit leaders are saying go and bring 50 million, sorry, a small village.
We have a caller. Sorry to stop you. Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome to Kaftan TV. This is the Polity. Yes, we are fine. We are fine. Please, your name and where you are calling from. Please go ahead. Okay, we lost that. Please continue.
So, by and large, there is no saying that if you do a survey of average Nigerians, whether you belong to public service or civil service or private sector, many of us have been impoverished because more than 60 to 7% of our income is being spent on food. So, by that extension, we are not able to afford other basic things. Paying rent has become very problematic. Paying school fees has become very problematic.
Electricity.
Telecommunication just got approval for 50% increase early this year. So when you look at the value chain and the resources not there, I already talked about our currency being devalued. The purchasing power parity has become very low. In time, just couple of years back, if I have 100,000, I say, thank God, at least I have some small money. That 100,000 today, if you have it, just don't approach any market.
At all.
Because you will come back reaping. Because by the time you buy one or two things, okay, today we are celebrating that food a bag of rice is now 65,000. If I'm able to struggle to buy a bag of rice, will I not buy the condiments? Will I just cook the rice and eat it like without having issues with diabetes?
Yes.
So the issue is that it's a whole ball of challenge, food challenge that government needs to think, put on its thinking cap to resolve.
We have another caller on the line. Good afternoon. Welcome to Kaftan TV.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Your name and where you are calling from?
I'm calling from Katsina State.
Okay. Your brother.
Katsina State, and my name is Prince.
Okay.
Samson Adetomi.
Okay.
I'm calling. In fact, I'm very happy. Always like to listen to your program.
Thank you.
But you know the program you people are talking about food insecurity.
Yes.
Actually, we cannot say Nigeria are hungry, or we can still say Nigeria they are going hunger. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
So the reason why I'm saying so is that, you see, the policy of this government is good. Actually, by this time last year, here in the north here, we are buying a motor. We call it chair. Here. 1 chair of maize. As at this time last year, was about 2,000, either 300, 2,500. But you see, that time people were even finding it difficult to even afford that commodity. But now, it is being sold at the rate of 1,003. But people don't even have that money to buy. Just as the other man say now, just go to market with 10,000. A family of 2 or 3, that 10,000 cannot even do them anything in a day. And to me, this policy of importing commodities from other countries, we are losing much. Now here in the north now, one bag of maize, 2 bags of fertilizer cannot buy. If you sell 1 bag of, if you sell 1 bag of maize, you cannot buy a bag of fertilizer with it. To have that interest in mind of farming, because we here in the north, we see it as a policy that this government just want to cripple the northern economic, because the base on farming. Now go to the market. Actually, rice has come down. things come down, everything comes down. But there is no money. Condition item, that's is high.
Thank you.
Are we going to continue to you go promote all these things are high?
Okay.
Some people are hungry. Let me just tell you.
Thank you very much.
Only few that enjoy.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Regards to our people in Katsina.
Oh yes, I'm in Katsina, in Funtua local government.
Thank you. Right, you didn't tell us your own local government. First Kari, yeah, it's always in the news.
We're close to
Funtua.
Yeah, we're just neighbors.
Well, I have a question for you or two, but I will not ask those questions until we take another short break. The short break is over on Kaftan TV, and the Polity continues. Now, architect, before we went on that break, Mr. Jide Ojo mentioned the issue of the policies of government. Our last caller before we went on break spoke on something like that about government policies. Oh, we have another call. Please, I'm coming. Good afternoon. This is Kaftan TV, the Polity.
Hello, good afternoon to you. How are you?
Yeah, we're fine. Please, your name and where you're calling from. Hello.
Hello, I'm calling from Yola State.
Okay, your name, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this program. You are doing wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to contribute a little bit on this program.
Please go ahead.
I'm a rice farmer. Irrigation development. I participated in irrigation activities.
Oh.
Last year we went to the farm. We did the farming, but unfortunately after the harvest, we cannot even break even the best of making a profit, because all the people that we are supposed to sell our product to, that the rice milling company, they have closed down. They are not in production. Therefore, we have to stop the product in our houses. So we continue eating it. So it means that every member of the family has to eat rice. So maybe at the end of the day, the diabetes in one way or the other, because a lot of starch.
What did they tell you was the cause of the closure?
This type of policy, this type of government policy, you are killing your own at home, and you are employing other people outside. Because why we cannot sell our product, because the rice that is coming in from abroad is not our market. So please, I'm appealing to the government to see how we can improve it. As my guidance speaker said that now they have to take 3 bags of maize to buy 1 bag of fertilizer. So the other
3 bags of meat to buy 1 bag of fertilizer. That's very appalling.
So how do we go into the agriculture now? That's why this year a lot of people abandon agriculture. Because the input is high. So as I said, I have 3 bags of maize and get only 1 bag of fertilizer. How many bags of fertilizer can I give in an acre? How many times that is? About 3 times or so. So please, the government should take a look into this policy and address it properly.
Thank you.
Unemployed Nigerians and then employed other people outside. Thank you very much. And you are doing very well for this program. I like it.
Thank you. Okay. Some people said, at least the caller before this last one, they said, well, the government policies are good. They appreciate the present administration for good policies. But these are policies that you were complaining about. Did you complain about it? Even this our last caller complained about it. What will the government policy on agri?
There is a misunderstanding of flooding the market with a commodity on a temporary basis. This is not sustainable. What do we want for food security that we have been talking about? It must be sustainably affordable, whatever it is. Now, again, you are caught between the devil and the deep sea. The smallholder farmer is still the engine room of food production.
You say so.
Now, you are creating circumstances where he or she will not have the capacity to produce, because there are many things that he needs to buy as input for the production that he cannot afford. So whatever you are giving from with the right hand, you are taking with the left hand.
It's like we have another caller. Sorry, architect. Good afternoon. This is the Polity on Kaftan TV. Yes, so good afternoon. This is a regular caller. Please, yes. Okay, please go ahead.
Just contribute before the rain will start falling and the will go.
Oh, okay. Yes, very, very clearly.
Yes, you see, some time ago we are having this flooding from a Laptop dam that is disturbed whole country through River Benue. Okay, so my suggestion now through you to people in Abuja that instead of wasting this money, wasting this water all the time, why don't we just make some channeling of this water through Noma, open up some of these tributaries down to the church, and so that the church can as well be charged properly with all this excess water that is
coming from Lagdo Dam.
What they call the flooding.
Yes. So, sorry, has the Lagdo Dam been has water been released from Lagdo Dam this time around?
Irrigation, animal hungry, fishing, and so on and so on. That is about to put production and food security in Nigeria. We should not one of the solutions that can help this country.
Okay.
You know me?
Yes.
It's a great man from here in Maiduguri. Many people are watching this program and saying this that we are busy wasting money, borrowing money. We don't even know where those money are going to. Look at simple things from Numan down to this within this and there are so many local engineers are able to establish these channels, and this water can able to easily be flowing down to the church. There is not much distance. We are able to do it within local contractors, and then the water can as well charge the church basin. Because if we continue to wait for Congo River, Francophone countries can never allow anything that can progress. We know about it. We don't need to deceive ourselves. People who are looking for a way to take away our goodies cannot help you build your goodies. So why can't us look inward? Open up some of these tributaries in the river down to lecture that they are flowing, but because of the sandy nature and then because of distortion, this water cannot be able to flow down to the church basin and then causing flooding all over. Why not us look inward? We will use this our local engineers to help us. So the church basin is filled with water. I am telling you, the Fulani will not even carry their cow down to this in the name of grazing. Fishing will be much available. Irrigation production, food production, everything will be in our country. You see loads of food going to my market from Maiduguri here. We have been doing it in the past. I don't know where our senses go, where all these our people who always consider policy. What is this policy all about?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Suggestion to you in Abuja that help us tell them.
Okay, thank you.
But they don't want to come down and learn from the people that concern.
Okay.
This is one thing that is affecting Nigeria in almost all our aspects of life. We're busy following the shadow while the actual something is on the ground.
Thank you. Please, let's move on now. We appreciate your insight, and we sincerely hope that those in position of authority, they are listening to us. I know that that area that you mentioned, Lagdo Dam, and the flooding of lower part of Nigeria here. I know that there is Kashimbila Dam that has been put on that route, but it's not been completed after so many years. We did so many reports on it at that time. We even went as far as Cameroon, Lagdo Dam. Lagdo Dam is security facility for the Cameroonian people. So we sincerely hope that those in position of authority, like we said, listen to his suggestion to dam the water to the Benue River. We sincerely hope they are listening. Now, but our own line of thought, which is the policy of government. People are saying the policy is good, the policy on agriculture is good, the government is doing well, but the farmers are complaining. In fact, one of our callers said, we produce rice, but the industry that is supposed to offtake it and develop it for us, all of them are closed. So they are now eating the rice in their homes, and that's a very bad incentive.
I'm sure a lot is not even buying any food now. He takes fish, takes chicken, and then
look at him. Farmers are fresh. Look at him. Look at us. Please,
it is very easy for you to sit down here and say this one is this one, this one is this one. But the fact remains. I've told you that when you want to do development in nation, you do it in a sustainable manner.
Yes.
Yes, we are not surprised that because you have imported a lot of these things, they will have the effect of bringing down prices of those things there. But this whole measure is temporary. As I told you, once you cannot even afford to continue importation. Once what you have in country finishes, whatever is there will go up. And then because people are not producing, you create unnecessary scarcity. You see, this gentleman who says he eats his own rice, that is, he does his local milling from his paddy. He gets his rice and they eat. They make tuwo, they can eat it like that, they can do many things. He will laugh later because these mills will come back looking for it. Because once this imported rice finishes and we don't import anymore, there will be scarcity and the millers will look for it. Now, there was an influx of millers, rice mills,
yes,
when the Ankobroa program was on. In fact, like in Kano, for instance, you can have, through the rule of thumb, 10 very big millers that are not producing at 40%. And this is because paddy is costly. Paddy is costly because when they produce, they will not be able to compete with this imported one.
Wow.
When paddy was 11,000, some millers were even complaining. Now I'm told paddy is somewhere between 60-65,000. And it's 75 kg. And then you buy it and mill and nobody buys the rice because there is cheaper rice.
Yeah.
And that's why Mr. Witchcombe has got his he's eating his paddy. And then the man from Katsina, in fact, has said it all. He is looking at the two sides of the coin. Yes, government has flooded the market with maize, for instance. And the farmers traditionally who produce maize cannot produce maize anymore because they are not able to even buy fertilizers by selling the maize they have. And then the farmer may only smile when he or she gets value from his production. Once he cannot break even, and if he's in the village, he cannot buy a new motorcycle. He cannot marry off his daughter comfortably. Or he cannot take his son out, build a house for him and marry. The poverty is there. I mean, he looks at it as this is the harvest time, this is the time that he will make money. And he makes it once in a year. And this is the only time he looks forward to. And then you are telling him that he can't smile even at that time. How can there not be complaints? And then once the food that people eat becomes a problem, then every other thing Every other thing makes no sense.
No sense.
If you look at what is happening in Abuja, metropolitan Abuja now, there's a lot of work, civil works going on by the current minister. People are complaining because what's the food? They can't afford food. What are they doing with the roads when they are driving their last cars? I didn't see the car that Jide came with.
It's a big one.
But whatever it is, it will be his last car.
Did you know that I took both here?
So whatever it is, you see, the thing is that for him to, it is cheaper for him to come with Bolt than to come in his car, because he will spend more money on gasoline
and they will not give me stipend for transport.
You don't give anything.
You don't give. They're not a gift shishi.
Oh, because
they're not a gift shishi.
Oh, because I've not announced.
So you know, this is on a humorous note. Yes. You know, on a serious note, what is happening in Nigeria is we need to coordinate whatever we do. In every decision you take, there is always a downside.
Yes.
For every advantage, there is a corresponding disadvantage. But when you do these things, make sure that the stakeholders are carried along. You cannot shame a person in his or her absence.
With due apologies to late Abiola.
So you must synchronize that. And then again, you see, it's even beyond this interview. You know, you don't have small business administration in this country.
Okay.
You need to synchronize what people are doing at a given location, so that there will not be saturation and then nobody will get market.
So it should not be one solution fits all.
It cannot be. It is not possible. In fact, when you look at a region, you call it corn country. These people produce corn. They have comparative advantage in that. You give it to them. And then we have 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. Every geopolitical zone has got its staple. Find it. I was a youth corporal in Owerri in 1983. I went to restaurants to look for food. They told me there was no food, but there was rice. Rice, there was not food. There was no food in Owerri in 1983.
Of course. So unless you talk of Akpu and
if you now support farmers in the southeast to produce more cassava,
yes,
more yam, you will be better. They will have food security because that is what they think as staple.
Yes.
If you go to the southwest, you also look at all the things that are really staple there.
Cassava.
I used to be on the board of the Federal College of Education, special in Oyo Town.
No, you're okay.
And anytime I went there, they gave me their own food, and I know what it is, but I don't want to tell you. So as far as I'm concerned, if you come to Katsina,
yes,
most village people, and even city people, will not eat rice for lunch. They take fural and nono.
Yeah.
And you think that they are poor. They are not poor. They are eating what they want. They will get food security from that, because that's what they desire. And when you really break it down, it has all the constituents of nutrition.
Okay.
So we need to do that.
We need to start winding out this program because of our time. But can we spare thoughts for the women and children that are at the receiving end, more at the receiving end of this food problem that we have in the country? Statistics say there are about 31.8% of the population. People in the northeast area ravaged already by war, and women and children especially.
Yes, we need to do that, but let me take it from a perspective that is more liberal. I wrote about this food security challenge in my column in the Punch newspaper barely a month ago, and I told Nigerians that you are on your own. I researched over the decades, successive administration, very huge sloganeering, Green Revolution, Operation Feed the Nation, anchor borrowers program, this one, that one. We need to start thinking about child spacing and family planning. It's not popular view, but you are saying we should spare thought for women and children.
Yes.
Child spacing and family planning is my number one on the list. Every family needs to be planned. That period where we were 5 in my family, we lost 1, remaining 4 of us now. Now, can I have 5 children on my meager income? I don't have to be told all this God hate abortion, you should not do this. See, it's time for us to wise up. If your child is marrying off now, tell him to plan, cut your coat, not according to your size, but according to your cloth. So that's number one. Number two, we need to have value addition to our production. We are talking, okay, paddy, you produce paddy, but you don't have milling factories to do the shelling and all of that. You produce palm kernel, but you don't have the technology to extract palm oil. You produce cassava and you sell it raw. You cannot make garri, make starch, make industrial and all of that. There are over 10-20 components, including pharmaceutical extractions that are used. So, you know, we have not been able to maximize the advantage of having Mrs. Okonjo-Iweala as Director General of World Trade Organization. And she has not stopped telling us that the reason why we have not been able to maximize our leadership is that we don't produce with value addition. So we cannot even, we are supposed to be exporting in the area of comparative advantage. But what are you exporting? There was the AGOA, that US government, I think under Bill Clinton introduced. There is African Continental Free Trade Agreement. These are supposed to be money spinners for Alhaji and his members who are into agricultural food production, solid mineral mining and all of that. But we continue to export yam in its raw form. We cannot make yam flour. We cannot make yam potato. We cannot add value, and that is why farmers remain poor, because everything we are selling out, apart from the one we eat, is just in its raw form. Now, agribusiness, Alhaji has spoken glowingly about making agriculture a business. There's a lot of value chain. Do you know that I can participate in the agri sector without even having a small, even a dot of a farmland? What about transportation? What about, packaging? What about logistics? What about, research and all of that? Even agri technology, the farmer combine harvesters, doing tractors, doing planters, producing herbicides and pesticides. All of these are value. Those are, how do you, Dangote is about the only major fertilizer producer in Nigeria. So he controls the price because it's a monopoly, more or less, except you are bringing from abroad. Now, for you to even, because I'm speaking to the reason why fertilizer prices is very high. And it's a shame of a nation, as many, aside from Alhaji, several other callers have said, that they want to sell 3 bags of maize to buy 1 bag of fertilizer. That is bad economics. You cannot continue to engage in that kind of business. I would rather go and begin Okada business rather than that. So how do you bring down the cost of implements, cost of farm inputs, to be able to make even smallholders to practice their trade in a profitable manner, so that they can also send off their children, they can send their children to school and pay their fees and all that. So government needs to look more into how to bring down the cost of production, food production agri-produce, make land available. There used to be farm settlements in the 60s, where young graduates, extension workers go there to train, to tell them about new breed or new ways of doing stuff. Where are the farm settlements today? So a lot needs to be done, but we need to bring down the cost of production, food production, and then stop this high rate of post-harvest losses.
Thank you.
So that we can have abundant food.
Our time is fast spent on the program. You are close to government, if I can say that, or you are close to some government institutions that can listen to you. If you have their ears now, what are those things that you will want them to quickly put in place to make farming easy for farmers, especially that Katsina farmer? I talked about, we have rice, but we are the ones eating our rice. Or the man that talked about fertilizer, you have to have 3 bags of maize to be able to afford 1 bag of fertilizer.
Well, the reality is that let's not. I don't want to exaggerate. You know, we don't sell 3 bags of maize to buy 1 bag of fertilizer.
Okay.
No, it's less than that, far less than that. But the thing that I would tell government, and I tell government every day, I write straight to the president, is that whatever you do, declare a real state of emergency on insecurity, on food in the real sense. Go back to PFI. That's a Presidential Fertilizer Initiative. We used to buy fertilizer at 5,500 like Coca-Cola everywhere in Nigeria.
I remember.
That period should come back. All these monies you are borrowing, borrow and put into agricultural production.
And value addition.
When I say production and productivity, they all mean the same thing. So when you get that and you get your act together, you can now, like China, come out and be feared by even the United States of America. Many years ago, I was not a student of politics, but I listened to people. We had the speaker's corner in ABU. People were bringing all kinds of theories, Frank Fanon and all those people. What is very clear now is we used to call China poor and an iron cutting country. While they were behind that iron curtain, they did all kinds of things. Today, they removed the iron curtain. They are tops. They are #1 in wheat production in the world. They are #1 in potato production in the world. They have food security.
Over 1.4 billion population.
Russia and this other country that they are in war with, Ukraine.
Yeah.
In spite of the war, they are exporting grains.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, we cannot feed our population. We have oil. Oil should have been the bonus that we needed to really scale our agriculture. And we should do that now, before it's too late. We have very many lofty policies.
Okay.
He is Mr. Policy. I am a student of policy. I am the president of Nigeria Agribusiness, and we have done what we call PIAF, Policy Implementation Analysis Fund. We look at policies, what they are good, we ramp them up, we package them, we hand over to Mr. President. We have handed over 3 already. The dairy policy, the tomato policy, and the standard and grading policy. It is for government to implement these. Our problem is not lack of good policies. Our problem is lack of implementation of these policies.
Let's go with
and then also we should have 0 tolerance for corruption. Anybody that is found wanting in a position that they are told to manage, they should be dealt with decisively. If you don't do that, you don't get anywhere. Examples abound in the world.
Yes.
China and Singapore
And Singapore
have 0 tolerance for corruption, and they are first world countries now.
Thank you very much. Well, that's what the polity is all about, to be able to make impact and chart direction for those that are in positions of authority. I must thank you, my guests, Alhaji Kabir Ibrahim, for coming on the program and the light that you have shed on agriculture in Nigeria today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And Mr. Jidodo, I must thank you equally. I thought you brought a very big car, not knowing that you came by boat. Well, I must thank you for coming on the program too.
It's a pleasure, sir.
Yes. Well, my guests, my viewers, until we come your way tomorrow with another edition of the Polity. I'll be back in the evening by 8 p.m. for Matters Arising.